Royal Marines Commando. It's a state of mind.
You ever watch one of those Royal Marines recruiting adverts and think, God, that looks cool, but you're just not in the position in your life right now to go full-time in the military? Well, if so, this video is for you. There are plenty of people I talk to on a daily basis that at some point consider joining the military, consider joining the Marines, consider taking that leap of faith, chasing that dream, that kind of objective they'd had in their mind, and they've, for whatever reason, let it go. Now, there are some good reasons to let these things go. You've had kids, you've got a really, really substantial good career now, you're earning really good money, you don't want to pass it up. All valid points. Something I always point out to people, which people generally don't consider, is the reserve option. So if we take the Royal Marines Reserves, for example, this ticks quite a few boxes. Yes, the process is drawn out in terms of the joining avenue and the basic training process. However, what you get on the backside of that is all of the experiences that you wanted to get. You get the achievement of getting a green lid. You go through the same process as the regulars. You get the opportunities to travel, learn, get qualifications, all of those things that the military does really well. But you don't get the burden of having a full-time job tied to His Majesty the King, and you get to have time with your family. You get to have a bit more autonomy over when you go away and where you go away. You also get paid that a little bit extra, and you can also keep your well-paying job. So there are a lot of advantages to going down the reserve route. Now, what are the challenges? So in my mind, the main challenge with going down the reserve route is actually the physical preparation side of things. There's a key difference between the regulars and between the reserves. The regulars, you get yourself to a certain point, a certain standard, you get to training, start training, and you're good to go. You can almost relinquish control of your physical endeavors because the PTIs and the training staff will take it on for you. In the reserve element, that's completely different. You get yourself to a certain standard, yes, pass the tests, etc., and then you start training. And actually now you've got to, under your own steam, continue to build your fitness to a point where you now can take on the various exercises, the 30 miler, the commando tests, all of those different things that you have to do to go and earn one of these bad boys. Well, that's challenging. So alongside a career, alongside a family, alongside a home life, whatever it is, you've now got to balance the ability to stay sharp, to stay robust, to actually have the endurance and the output to go and run or yomp 30 miles. It's a real challenge. Yes, it's not as intensive, so you get to go home to your own bed within the week, that's great. But there is a different challenge to being a reservist and trying to go down that route that I don't think people talk about too much. So today I'm going to give you 3 guiding principles if you are considering the reserves to keep you moving forwards within the structure and the confines of the basic training process. Number 1, we need to manage the volume. So normally, likelihood is you're going to get a weekday, and every other weekend you're going to stay over and have to do something physical, probably something fieldcraft related, etc. It's probably going to be quite fatiguing. So in that week following the weekend away, you probably want to go through a little bit of a deload, or certainly rein the intensity and the volume in so you can recover and come back to equilibrium essentially. That second week, before you then go away again, you can start to kick on. So we can't really compare and progress week on week. It's kind of difficult. We have to progress week 1 to week 3 to week 5 to week 7. You get the picture. So we actually have to look at this process very, very differently and manage our expectations as far as how we actually progress. So that's number 1. Number 2 is to smartly introduce load carrying into your training. Again, you're under your own steam, going to have to get to a position where you can navigate the commando tests, where you can yomp for hours and hours on end. That doesn't just happen by accident, but we need to be smart in the way in which we introduce it. So as a very basic guide, here's what I look at doing. Start with 10 kilos, start with 45 minutes, ratchet that 45 minutes up by 5 minutes each week, keeping the weight the same. Get to somewhere around 90 minutes with that while you're pain free and you feel comfortable, and then begin to ratchet the weight up. Super simple, super easy progression, and should keep you injury free. Number 3 is you're gonna have to be smart with your strength training volume. Coming back to my first point, you can't afford really to be doing a push-pull leg split, to be doing a bro split, whatever it is. You have to be really intentional with your strength training because you're not gonna get a fat lot of it done. So 2 full body sessions is unbelievable for this prescription because we can hit everything twice a week. We can manage our volume so that we can actually give good intensity to those sessions, and we can actually probably get stronger even throughout the process. We can also look at which movements we're doing and try and direct them towards being ready and staying injury free for a longer duration or an arduous process. So those are our 3 guiding principles. Hope that helps if you are joining the Royal Marine Reserves, or if it just feels like too much of a commitment or whatever it is, and it's something's holding you back, I'm more than happy to help you. There's essentially two things you can do. You can either DM me directly on Instagram and I'll be back in touch and we can go back and forth and I'll help you out. Or if you want to work with myself and the team to get you ready properly and prepared in the best way possible, then there's a link below for our one-to-one coaching application. Go through the form and we'll see you on a call where we can discuss how it works and whether we're a right fit to help you get to where you need to be. Hopefully that helps. And again, like, subscribe, comment, all that sort of good stuff. I'll see you in the next one.